Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to the resume preparation session by 360DigiTMG. So every Thursday we come up with resume preparation session. We have our resume preparation session and yes, we are here this Wednesday too. So remember during your demo, we have said that we have exclusive resume preparation session and yes, this is just part of it. So today let me start by introducing you to something different. We have a resume preparation session. Yes, we'll start it. But today, just for today, let me start by introducing you to Jumpstart. Jumpstart is a scholarship program by 360DigiTMG. And yes, here you'll get discount, huge discounts to be very honest. Now, you can visit this page 360digitmg.com Jumpstart. And yes, you can actually give an exam and yes, you can get discount on the fees. So what are you waiting for? Register for the examination and yes, give that examination. Here, if you have any question, we have frequently asked questions here. You can see those questions and yes, you can actually start enrolling and give this examination. So this is about Jumpstart. Let's start with our session today. So resume preparation session by 360DigiTMG. Today's topic is effective resume design, strategies for formatting and visual appeal. See, now, initially, what we used to do, what used to be our format? Initially, we have shown how to make a proper resume, right? Completely a proper resume. Now we are focusing on each and every element of it so that we make sure that our resume is foolproof, right? So let's start with the session. So what's the agenda for today? Today, we'll see why resume design is important, why consistent formatting is important, what is consistent formatting, how to strategically use colors and typography. We'll talk about effective use of space and bullets. We'll talk about incorporating visual elements in your resume. Yes, these things are something new, right? Yes. So tools and resources we'll talk about for resume design, where you can design your resume. Also, we'll talk about practical tips if you want to apply immediately. These are the agenda for today. So, we'll talk about why resume design is important. Let's face it, a beautiful looking resume captures attention. What's the purpose of it? What's the purpose of your resume? Is to capture attention, right? Capture attention of the recruiter. Your resume, if the design is proper, if the resume looks super good, it actually gives a professional impression. Now think of it. Your resume, as we have discussed previously too, is a first impression that you make on a recruiter. Think of it. You are having a beautiful resume. And in that way, what an impression you'll make on your recruiter, right? And yes, a proper resume with proper design enhances readability. And yes, that is really very important. Enhancing readability. If your recruiter is able to read it properly and he's increased, right? Exactly. Impact. First impression can make or break job opportunities. We discussed this right now, right? Talking about professional impression. Yes, we all know if your resume is not good, think of it. What image your recruiter will have, right? He will definitely think that, okay, if this person can't even make a proper resume, what he will do in our job? Well, you decide that. Now, balance, effective integration of content and design. Now, only content in your resume, think of it. Will that be good? Just a resume filled with just content, no proper design. Trust me, we have seen lots of resumes here at 360 DigiTMG and it looks super bad. It doesn't look good at all. So, what is your goal? Your goal is to stand out in a competitive job market. And for that, resume design is very much important. You must be saying ATS is important. Yes, ATS screening is important as well. But at the very same time, resume design is really important. A resume which is designed in a really good way and is ATS friendly, of course, that will be chosen, right? So that's the reason we talk about resume design. And we all know now it is important. So now see this. Just compare these two resume. First resume is just mentioning every detail here. Similarly, second resume is also mentioning second all the details. But think of it. The summary, the professional summary we have is properly written, well structured. The second resume is. And yes, see, readability is clearly much more in the second resume, not in the first one, right? So now we understand why resume design is important. But what about other factors? Yes, consistent formatting. We have talked about this a lot of times, but yes, it is really very important. So we'll talk about it now too. Uniformity, stick to one font type and size. Now, what happens is generally, generally you should go for one font type and one font size for whatever is written inside. And yes, one font type for the heading, one font type for the subheadings. Make it italic, making it bold. That is your choice, right? But yes, formatting should be consistent. If you are doing it for the first line, do it for the last line too, right? It should be same. Alignment, text and margins, you should be uniformly aligned. Now, if that is not aligned properly, will that even look good? Of course not. Your alignment should be really very good. It should be uniformly aligned. The left side of your resume, if you have it, everything should be at a proper alignment. Now, professional look. Consistency contributes to a clean layout. We have seen that previously too, right? In your resume design, when we talked about, you saw consistently it was clearly aligned, right? There was uniformity. So consistency in that contributed to a clean layout. It was really very clean. And yes, it was really very spaced. So it was really very good. Now, attention to detail. Attention to detail reflects candidates' meticulous nature. Now, think of a resume which is not aligned properly. There's no uniformity. Your heading starts with a small letter, right? And yes, your other points, you have capital letters in between. That is not consistent. That is not good. It will actually reflect your nature, how good you are, how keen eyed you are. This will be reflected in your resume and its formatting. So, see this. This is part of a data scientist's resume. Here, we know this is a bad formatting. This is example of a really bad formatting. See this, enthusiastic and detail-oriented data science intern. Science spelling with a passion for leveraging data. Passion, spelling mistakes you're making. Skills if you see, Python, pandas. Are you even a data scientist if you don't know Python starts with capital P? Pandas, there's no Z in pandas. There's no numpy, no double M. Right? Spelling mistake, lot of spelling mistakes are here. That is a really bad formatting. So we have a few bullet points to follow. Few points if you follow, your resume will be super good. You should keep your resume clean and easy to read. We talked about that. You should use a professional font. Now, why professional font is important? What happens? There are some fonts which are easy to read. Readability is very high in that font. In those fonts, I should say, yes. So, example, talking about those fonts, we have Arial, Calibri, Times New Roman, etc. And yes, the site should be readable. Generally, people prefer a size of 12 for the content that is inside and 14 for the header. Utilize the bullet points for easy readability. Yes, and utilize it in a really good way. Use subheadings to enhance readability. We talked about that, right? You should have heading, you should have subheading, you should have all the points that you need to mention. Be consistent with your formatting. Yes, font size, style, headings, etc. should be proper. And yes, avoid spelling mistakes and grammatical mistakes. We talked about that. Your resume speaks of who you are, right? You should make sure you don't make grammatical mistakes in that. And spelling mistakes too, of course. Strategic use of colors and typography. Now, employ a professional color palette to highlight key section. Now, what happens is you should search for it that, okay, these are the color that are really, really good and these are used consistently. For example, there's blue color or navy blue color that is used so many times and it's really professional. It gives a really professional look. See this. Violet color gives a really professional look, right? Now, typography, you should use bold and italics to create hierarchy of information. Bold and bold should be the heading, should be bold. And here, for example, we are not given in italics. You see in here, human resource manager is in bold, and here below this, it's in written, the company name is written in italics. Now, this is how we write it to convey the hierarchy of information. The one on the top has the highest size, right? Below that has a lower size than that, and basically bold. And below that, the company name is in italics. This is how we write it. This is how we write the hierarchy of the information. Focus point, draw eyes to important achievements and skills. Yes. If there's achievement on and or skills that you need to mention, you need to mention in a proper way, right? See this, soft skills, hard skills, everything is mentioned in a proper way. That is really important. Readability, yes, we talked about it. Enhance the overall readability and scannability. Scannability, now think of it. A company has thousands of resume. Will that company will actually go for each and every resume, reading each and every resume for 5 minutes, 6 minutes? Even if your resume is ATS friendly, there will be many resumes which are ATS friendly nowadays. Now, will your company go through each and every resume, spending 5 minutes on each resume? No. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds max. Not more than that. 20 seconds and you're in. That's it. It makes or breaks your chances. That's the reason resume design is important too, right? Effective use of space and bullets. Now, you should organize it clearly. Bullet points for clear and concise information. We use bullet points and we know that. We all know that, right? White spaces. You use adequate spacing to avoid clutter. We have seen that example when we were talking about resume design. We use adequate spacing to avoid clutter. More it is decluttered, better is the resume. Yes, it looks super good if your resume has proper spacings. Presentation, clean layout helps information stand out. We saw that skills. If you have written skills in separate folder, yes, it really looks good in a separate portion. Yes, it really looks good here. Ease of reading makes the resume easier to scan quickly. We saw that, right? We talked about that. Now, here is the example of using spaces and bullet points. This is how we write our project information, right? This is a project format. When we talk about project, this is how we write it. Now, think of it. On the left side is medical inventory optimization project, one of the project that we did. And if a candidate writes it in this way, will that be really good? Or if the candidate writes a resume project in this way, where you have mentioned technology stack, business solution, business problem about the client, each and everything accordingly. And yes, with those bullet points, it will be really very good, right? You think of it, you be the judge. What looks better? Which format you think is better? Now, incorporating visual elements. If you talk about visual elements, infographics are really very important. Yes, it represents data visually for quick understanding. For example, you have here LinkedIn. When we talk about LinkedIn, you can just give its logo. Twitter account, just give its logo. Phone number, just give phone's logo. Right? Professional photo, if it is required, good. Generally, if you want, you can give it. If that is a really good photo, yes, put it in your resume. But yes, ultimately, it will depend on the manager. Icons, yes, use minimal icons for clean visualization, right? Here we have used for work, history, education, all these things. Customization, yes, tailor graphics to the job or industry. Now, think of it. If you are in related to a particular industry, and if you use infographics related to that industry, it will be really impactful, right? So, talking about tools and resources for resume design. Now, we always wonder which resource to use or which tool to use for designing a resume. See, there are plethora of them. But generally, we go for InDesign, Adobe InDesign, Microsoft Word, and Canva. You can use all these three, you can master these, and yes, that will be really easier for you now to actually make resume, right, with the proper design. Templates. There are many templates available. Use a professional template. You can start with any professional template and you can use that. Talking about continuous learning, yes. Here also, to learn how to design your resume, you need to make sure you learn that particular software properly. So yes, learn that software. And yes, do mention in your resume that you know how to make a resume using that software, right? Or at least that you are using that software. That will be really good. Experimentation, try various design approaches. Now, there are plethora of design layouts that are present. Free design layout. They are paid too. If you are good, you can go for it. Even if you go for free content, make sure it stands out. Try with different experimentation, right? Just experiment. That will be really good. Now, practical tips for immediate application. If you want to apply immediately or sooner, in the sooner near future, we talk about best practices. You should follow the current resume design trends. Now, think of it. Photos are okay. You can include them. You don't want to include them. That is completely fine. But nowadays, there are many resumes which are not carrying photos. Yes, because now that is a current trend. Make sure if you are not mentioning you're not putting your photo, that is completely fine, right? Updates regularly refresh your resume to maintain relevancy. We have talked about it and we'll talk about it now also. See, what happens is if your resume is actually refreshed regularly, it will appear on the top in the job portal and that will enhance the chances you have, right? That will increase the chances you have. So that's the reason updating it regularly is very important. We'll talk about customization. Adapt your resume for each job application. Come on, we cannot stress more. Since start of this session, when we started for resume preparation session on every Thursday, we are saying the same thing. You need to tailor your job description and tailor your resume as per the job description, be it professional summary, be the skills required. Everything should be tailored as per the job description. Because based on that, we have ATS screening. And that is the first step that can make or break your chances. Right. So customization as per the job application is really very important. Do and don'ts. Now, there are some essential tips, and we talked about it so many times. Make sure professional summary you have is tailored as per the job description. There should be proper space to make sure that you are not making any formatting mistakes, right? All these things you're mentioning, all those skills that are needed in the job description. And yes, you're writing your work experience accordingly in reverse chronological order. You're writing your education in reverse chronological order. There's so many things. These are some tips we talked about, right? Now, if you are applying your resume, here are a few famous job portals we talk about. And yes, we know all these job portals are really very famous. You can actually log into it. You can actually sign in there and you can start searching for a job. A few Google search results for data science resumes or data science job, we should say. When you search for Google, then search on Google for the same thing for data science jobs. There you go, a lot of vacancies. So make sure you make your resume properly because there are many vacancies. Now, here we mentioned keywords for data scientist resume. We know keywords are really important and we have to make sure that we put it as per the job description. But here, these are the keywords that are generally present as per our research in a data scientist resume. There are frequently asked questions. We talk about it each and every time. There are few frequently asked questions. For example, how could you have improved your career progress? What do you worry about? Give me example of your creativity. How do you feel about working nights and on weekends? Are you willing to relocate or travel? All these questions matter. Yes, you need to make sure that you ponder upon these questions before you appear for a job interview. Now, here, Mr. Vincent van Gogh has said, I don't know anything with certainty, but seeing the stars makes me dream. So make sure you make your resume properly and you dream about the job you're talking about, about the job that you are seeing, and you prepare accordingly, right? See, there's no certainty in things, but yes, if you prepare yourself properly, that will be really, really good, right? So yes, we'll just leave you with the thought of Mr. Van Gogh, when Mr. Vincent Van Gogh, that I don't know anything with certainty, but seeing the stars make me dream. Think about it. It's really good. Now, when you're here on YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here we'll talk about our contact info. Once you see in this resume session, please feel free to contact us on this contact number. And you can mail us too at inquiry@360DigiTMG.com and visit our website for more content. Right? We will be taking you to our website where we'll see a lot of new things here. Right? We have we have offline classes in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Of course, we have different branches too. Now, while you're on YouTube, here you can pause this video. You can actually follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn. We have accreditation to international certification bodies like Microsoft, State University of New York, Future Skills Prime, Panasonic, and TCS-IM. Now, when we're talking about resume, let me take you to our website and show you how Resume Mapper works. Resume Mapper, you must be thinking, what is Resume Mapper? We talk about ATS friendly resumes, right? We talk about design also. We talked about ATS friendly resume, how it looks, how good it is. We'll be talking about it. Whenever we want to make sure that your resume is ATS friendly, just go to our website 360digitmg.com. See here. Once you come to a website, this is a beautiful, beautiful website. Once you come to this website at 360DigiTMG, go to the learning resource page. Okay, before we go there, let us just see what is on our website. We have popular courses, right? You can see, you can read about these courses, know more, and you can know more about these courses. We have 76 plus domain analytics program, and these are few of them. Now, you can read advantage that we offer here. We have differentiator. You can read about us. You can read about what our alumni say. You can see the career transition. You can read success stories. And yes, while you are on YouTube channel, you can go to the playlist and see we have a dedicated section for our placements. Success stories we talk about. They were not from the programming background, they started from scratch. But yes, they are here now, right? They have achieved what they wanted to achieve, right? Here, you can read about them, you can contact to them on LinkedIn, and you can know more about them and their journey at 360DigiTMG. Also, while you're here, let's go to learning resources. Now, what is learning resources? Learning resources is basically our gift to our students and to the data science community, data science or data analytics community, you can say. Here, we have made sure that this web page is updated now. And yes, you can see we have master classes on 11th May 2024. We have Zoom webinar on 11th May 2024. One is HR efficiency, increasing HR efficiency, and one is on decision tree. Now, think of it. A person, a data scientist knows how important ensemble modeling is. Yes, you can attend those seminars, those videos, right? You can attend those master classes. Here, let's talk about core learning resources. This is really good. This is something I'm really, really proud of, and I really love to explain these things. Here we have digital learning library. We have AI design studio for machine learning. We have data skill assessment. We talk about career advancement and professional growth. Now, let's go there. Let's talk about resume optimization hub. Click on polish your resume. Now, this is what we used to call resume mapper. Now it is called resume optimization hub. Why did we change our name? You must be thinking, right? Now, what's happening here is previously, what we used to do, we used to give just the keywords that were missing. Now, what we do is we give keywords as well as we make sure that we include that in your resume. Yes, you can download resume with those keywords, and also with those keywords, you can go for learning what you can how you can prepare for interview. Now, see this how to use this resume mapper. Here, click on it. You upload your resume. For example, we have intern's resume here, and we'll choose any file. For example, we'll choose job description here. Yes, you can just copy and paste the job description here, and you can compare. Once you compare, let it take its own sweet time. As we discussed, we have a plethora of things here. We have a lot of things that that will interest you here. You can see in our intern's resume, there are missing skills and the matching percent is 58.49%. Yes, that is really good, right? No, that is not good. You need more. How do you make sure that you need more or more skills in your resume? Now, here you have the options to go for generating resume and to see interview questions. Now, in red are the missing skills and in green is the similarity we have. Here we talk about machine learning, artificial intelligence, Microsoft Azure, linear regression, logistic regression. If you want to add that, just click on those words and generate resume. Yes, it will take time, but think of it. All these things are for free. That is the reason it is called resume optimization hub. You are just optimizing your resume. You will have all these things ready here in the resume mapper section or resume optimization hub. Now, when we talk about it, let's take its own sweet time. Let me introduce you to the ML workflow. Yes, we'll come back to this. Well, okay, it's here already. Your updated resume is here, and yes, that updated resume is downloadable. Yes, you can download that resume here, right? Or you can download it from here. Here, download it, upload it, updated resume. You get it? There we go. Updated resume is here, right? You can download it from here too. Or what you can do is just select any one topic. For example, artificial intelligence. And yes, you get the interview question for the same. It will process, it will take its time. And yes, resume preparation session, when we talk about We're talking about interview 2. Interview questions will be here, right? So till the time it is here, it is processing. Let me introduce you to the ML architecture assistant or ML workflow. Now, what is this? This is basically the data architecture diagram we have, right from the start to the end, right from the data sources to the end user device. Now, think of it. You knowing how to make a data architecture or project architecture completely right from end to end, even as a beginner, as an intermediate, or someone who's having the capability of making this complex project architecture. Think of it. What an impact you'll have on your recruiter. Won't that be good? It will be super duper awesome, right? Yes. So you can use that. We have mind maps for easy internalization of concepts. Trust me, you can talk to our alumni and you can understand how important mind map is. Revising using mind map is really easy, right? Now let's come back to this interview questions. This interview question now you can see, you can read more, and yes, whatever questions we have based on our previous experience, you can have these interview questions directly here in the resume optimization hub. Now think of it. Which website other than 360 DigiTMG is doing that? It is really a gift to the community by 360 DigiTMG, right? No, so now we are on the ending part of our session. Now, when we're talking about resume, make sure your resume is ATS friendly. We have a previous video based on that. You can actually go to the playlist and see all the previous videos. You will definitely enjoy that and you'll definitely learn a lot. When we're talking about it, while you are on YouTube, make sure you visit the playlist section. And in playlist, you'll see that we have plethora of free content, all for the community in our YouTube channel. While you're here, please subscribe to it. Go and see those domain expertise videos we have, right? You'll really love it. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we'll meet next week with new content for this week. This is all from our side. Bye friends. Good night. Take care. Bye.